Hi, I'm Neil Curtis, and this is another how to make a website tutorial. We're going to go from a fresh WordPress install, and then from this we're going to add the premium framework called the Genesis framework, which takes WordPress up to a new level and adds extra security, optimization and other features to the core WordPress program. And then with this we're going to use a premium Genesis theme called the Outreach Pro theme. The Outreach Pro is a premium theme that creates a beautiful looking website with lots of functionality and features. It's really easy to style and build up your website using this platform, and here in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do this from the very beginning all the way to a beautiful looking website at the end. So go ahead, carry on and watch the rest of this tutorial. Hi, it's Neil here from neilcurtis.me, and this is another full website tutorial. So we're going to work through making this website here, which is called Outreach Pro. And as you can see, the main feature of this website is this large image slider at the top, which you can slide through beautiful images on your website. And these images are actually feature images that are linked to posts. So each post has a feature image assigned, and then here it's showing the post title and a bit of content from the post, and you can click down here or just click on the image itself and it takes you through to the post in question, which for this example is set out with the main content area on the left and then a primary sidebar area on the right. As well as this large feature slider image, we have these 4 sections beneath which can link through to different pages or posts on your site. And then below this we have another widget area where you can put some content about what to do, or maybe a sign up box or whatever you want to do for your website. And at the very bottom we have these 4 widget areas for the footer area of your website. And in this case we've got an email newsletter sign up form in there and also a bit of content. And this footer area will appear on every page on your website. So for example, if we click onto this page, you'll see we have the footer area here, and we've also got this widget area that appears on each page. So again, this would be an ideal area to put an email sign up form or to reinforce what your website does. So this is what we're going to recreate now, this beautiful professional standard website on this tutorial. So here we have a blank WordPress install, and this is what we're going to style. So it's just got a default theme on at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Genesis framework, which is a premium industry standard framework that sits on top of WordPress to add extra features, and also it adds a platform for the Genesis themes which style the website. And we're going to be using a theme called Outreach Pro. So the first thing we need to do is to go over to the studiopress.com website, which supply the Genesis framework and themes, and download the ones we want. So here we're on the StudioPress website, so we need to log into the back end. So you will need to sign up to StudioPress. So just click on the My StudioPress link at the top, and then when I'm here I can click on the downloads area, and that will show me a list of all the different themes that I'm allowed to download. This opens up my members download page in StudioPress itself. So if you sign up to StudioPress and buy one of their products, you will have access to these too. So what we need to do is we need to download the Genesis framework, which is here. So I'll just download this. We also need to download the Outreach Pro, which is a theme we're going to use now. So we can shut this now because it's downloaded, and then we can go into the back end of our WordPress website. And we just go appearance and themes. Here's the main theme page for WordPress, so we can go and add those themes that we've just downloaded. So we just click add new, or we can click the plus sign here, so we'll do that. And it takes us through to free themes, but we've got some premium professional standard themes, so we'll click upload theme and then navigate to where we downloaded these themes just now. So here we are in downloads folder. So we've got these 2 files we've just downloaded now, zip files, but we just open the Genesis framework first and just install this. And then we don't need to activate it because it automatically gets activated when we activate the theme. So now we'll go back to our themes page and we'll add another one. We'll upload theme again. We'll just choose this Outreach Pro, which is a child theme. So the Genesis framework works on top of WordPress, and then we install a child theme to sit on top of this to style it. So we will activate this, and you'll see once I activate it, we'll get a new icon area on the side here, which is a special area for Genesis, which we'll cover later. So now you see we have this Outreach Pro here, and that's been activated, so that's what we're using. So if we go back to our front end, you'll see it's styled differently now than it was before, but it's nowhere near what we want in the end. But this is the base platform for us to start customizing this website. Just as we're at this point in the tutorial, just want to mention WebThener, and it's because if you want to get to this level with the Genesis framework all set up and ready for you to start customizing, but you don't want to worry about web hosting and installing WordPress and signing up to StudioPress to download and install all of the frameworks and themes, then WebThener could be the solution for you. It basically takes care of everything for you, so you don't have to worry about web hosting, you don't have to worry about installing when setting up WordPress, and you don't have to worry about downloading and installing the Genesis framework and theme, because it's all taken care of for you. And basically you start where we are now in tutorial with a blank platform of the theme of your choice to start customizing. So head over to WebThener if this is something that interests you. So it's www.webthener.com, and you'll find all the information you need on there. And make sure you click through and have a read and see what you get. Okay, just back to the tutorial now. So what I'll do first is I'll remove this default post, because by default when you install WordPress you get some posts and pages and comments in there, but we want to delete that so we've got a completely blank canvas. So we just go into our posts, and you see we've got this hello world post, so we'll just bin this, and then I'll just go into my bin and completely get rid of it. There's also a page in here, so I'll go and get that and delete that as well. Right, so there we go, completely blank canvas at the moment. So what I want to do first is I want to add some plugins that we're going to use throughout the tutorial. Most notably the Genesis responsive slider plugin, which creates this big feature image slider at the top. But I'm also going to do a social icon plugin. So if we go back to the demo site, you see we've got these social icons at the top. So we'll install the plugin to do that. And also an e-news extended plugin, which is a plugin that adds these email newsletters to your website. And although this might not be important to you, I'm going to show you how to add it to your site. Okay, so we go back in, you go plugins, and I'll go add new. These are all free plugins and they're all Genesis specific plugins, so this is another great thing about the Genesis framework. You get these plugins that work with it. So we'll do the Genesis responsive slider. So we just search for it in the search box and then click search plugins. It's this top one here, and you see it's got a good rating, so we'll install that. And we'll activate it. We'll add another one. We'll just add all three of them now. So we'll do the simple social icons. There we go, it's the top one again. Again, we'll activate it. And the final one we'll add is the e-news extended. Okay, so now they're installed. What we need to do is we need to add some posts, because these posts and the featured images on these posts are going to show up in that main slider. So we're going to add some posts now. So just click posts and then add new. Then I'll just call this anything. So outreach post 1. And we just need to add a bit of content here, because some of this is going to show up in our slider in the main home page. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about filling anything else out, and I'm going to publish this, but you'll probably realize that I haven't put in a featured image yet, but we need to go and find a featured image first, so we'll do that in a minute. I'll just publish this post, and we go and have a look at it. So there we go. Of course, you will do a real post here, and it will be fantastic content related to what your website is about, but for these purposes we've just put in the same line repeated to make it look like content. Okay, so now we have a post. We need to assign a featured image to it if you want it to show up in the image slider. So you can either use one of your own pictures, obviously if it's something to do with your website or your company or your personal blog, but if you want to use some free, royalty-free images, there are places on the internet to get that. And I've got a link on my website, so just head over to neilcurtis.me, and there's a link here on this video you just need to click. And if you just go to the bottom of the website, there is a resources section. And on here I talk about all the software I use to make websites, but I've also got this link here to places where you can get free images that you can use as much as you want on your website. So Unsplash is a nice one, so we'll just go over to there and then click on archive. Well, it's just got lots of images at the front. I'm going to click on archive and you can see all the images that have been used. So you'll probably find one that's useful for your website here, and if you don't, like I said, there's other places where you can find images from. So we'll do a theme, so we'll have a look at travel. So we'll do this hot air balloon is a nice image that we can use for this post. If you click on it, you get a large image, and this is more than good enough for the site, or you can get a high-res image if you want, but this is good enough for us. So I'm just going to right click it and I'm going to go save image as. I'm going to save it into an image file for this website, and I'll just call it post image 1. Okay. So we have our image. We'll add more later, but now we're going to add that responsive slider to the home page. And this is done in the widgets area, so we go appearance and then widgets on the left. And we have all of these widget areas which are on this particular theme. So normally on different websites and different themes that you would use, you wouldn't get all of these options. You normally get primary sidebar or maybe a footer, but you don't get all of these. These are all specific to this theme. And in particular, this home top, home bottom are the main areas on the home page, but then we've also got the after entry that appears on all the pages and also all these footer regions. But we want to look at this home top area to put in a responsive slider. So you just click on it. It's here now because we installed that plugin just before. Just click and drag it in and then save it. There are some settings and we'll have a look at them in a minute, but for now we'll just go to the home page. And there it is. Got a beautiful big image now, and you see the icon turns into a hand when you hover over it because that means you can click and it takes you straight through to the post. But you've also got the title of the post here and the top little bit of text and the continue reading button. But you'll notice that this is just taking a section because this slider is set dimensions, but it is responsive. So if I shrink this page, you will see that the image and whole website responds to it, which is fantastic. So it's fully mobile responsive, but it is set dimensions. And if we open up our image from before, you see a lot of it's been cut off. So you may want to crop the image down to the perfect size if you want specific areas to always show, but we're not going to bother here. We're just going to use the whole image and be happy with the section it shows, which is this nice section here of the hot air balloon. So like I said, we'll go and have a look at the options in the slider widget. So if you hover over at this Genesis tab, because it's a Genesis product, we've got the slider settings here, but it was also, if we go into the widgets, there's also a link on the widget itself for slider settings. So either way, you click it and it takes you through to the slider settings page. So you've got lots of options. So what kind of content do you want to show? Post or pages. So you could show pages in this slider if you wanted, but we're showing posts, so we'll leave it as post. And it says what term, taxonomy and terms do you want to use? So we're just going to say all. But if you set categories up for your images, you could set a certain category, say for example featured, and only show featured posts in the slider, and you would select it from this list. But we'll leave ours as all. And then we've just got lots of different options for saying which posts we want to show, how many slides we want to show. So we're going to say 4 slides. We'll create 4 posts in a minute. Here we've got some translation settings, time between the slides. So how often do they slide? So how long do you have to wait before it goes onto a new image? And then this one is how fast do the images slide? And then do you want it to slide or do you want it to fade in? We'll just leave them as default. And here is the dimensions of that area of that slider. So ours is this default one of 1140 by 460, so we'll leave that. And you can say, do you want to show arrows for the next? And we haven't got those at the moment because we've only got one image, but when we had more than one image, we'll have options. So we'll have arrows to go forward and back, which we want. And then here we say what do you want to show. So we want to say post title, which is sort of did, slider content, and then hide title and content on mobile devices because there won't be enough room, which is nice. And select what you want to show. So we say post content, then it's going to show the first 100 characters, which look good. And it's going to say continue reading. Okay, so there, this is whereabouts this writing appears on the slider. So I've left all of these as default because it looks nice, but you can change and modify these if you want. So we'll go ahead now and create 3 more posts, but first I'll get 3 more images to use in these posts. So I'll go back to Unsplash and find 3 more images to do with travel. So there's an aeroplane here, so we'll have that. Save image as. I'll just call it post 2. And we'll try and find another travel related one. Kind of transport, nice one of some cable cars or ski lifts. So we'll have this one. Of course, I'm just being quick here because it's just for example purposes, and you will have much better ones. There's another cable car one, so may come back for Can't find any better ones when I quickly go through these. We'll have this camper van as well, because that's quite nice. Okay, so we now have our 4 images. So I'll go ahead and create some more posts. Copy this text here so I don't have to bother recreating that. Right, I'm going to speed up this video to 6 times normal speed because I'm just repeating the exact same process as before. Creating a new post, giving it a title, pasting in that content, and then setting the featured image. Okay, so that's our last post done. So we go back to the home page. And here we go. So there's our nice camper van. You see it sliding by itself. There's our ski lift. And you see the images look really beautiful. It's an aeroplane. And finally we've got a hot air balloon. And of course each of these link through to the post. Right, so the next part is to do this section under. So if we go back to our demo site, you see they've got these 4 areas and these link through to specific pages. So what we need to do is create 4 example pages and then we'll put these sections in. So I'm just going to click new and then page. This is a quick way of doing it in WordPress if you don't want to go into the dashboard. And we'll create an About Us page. Okay, so I'll just add some content there. And we need to set a featured image again because this is going to be used to display it on the page. So we go back to our trusted site and this time we'll do some animals because I saw a nice one there. This is About Us. And while we're here, I'll get some more animals. Meet the team, that could be another page. And this can be a contact us. And finally, this picture can be get a quote. This is a featured image here. And this is our About Us image. Okay, so just to show, I won't do the other pages yet, but just to see where this shows up. So we go into our widgets. And what we can do is look at this home bottom area because that's where it is on the site. So you see these widgets make it really easy to add content to certain areas. We're going to use this Genesis featured page widget which comes when you install the framework. And here we'll just give it a title. So this is the About Us page. You see here it's got a link to what page to use, but we've only created one so it shows one. But if we did have more pages it would be here on the list. We're going to say show the featured image and then we want to make it the home bottom size. So conveniently it's got the right size there. Leave alignment none. We want to show page content, not the title because we've put our own title in here, just the content. And then we'll have the text read more, and I'll put a couple of arrows and we'll see what that looks like. So there we go, it's really nice. It's just got the image and it's just scaled this image down to fit this page and giving us some text. But what happens if I had more text than that? It hasn't got a continued reading because it hasn't limited this text. So I'll go in here and I'll edit this page and I'll just give it loads of text. And I'll see if this shows up on the home page. Which it does. And of course we don't want that. And you may have noticed in the widget, if you go widgets here, there was an option to limit how much text to show. So we'll do that and we'll say show 100 characters. And there we go, it's just showing the first 100 characters. Now it's got this read more button, which links through to the pathetic page that I've just created. But again, yours can be as good as you want it to be. Okay, so I'll do 4 more pages just quickly in the same way, and just to see it laid out nice. Right, I've sped this up 6 times again because again it's just repeating the same process of creating a new page, giving it a title, adding some content, and then adding this image, featured image to the page. Okay, that's 4 pages made quickly. So we'll now go and add these to our widget areas. So this is home bottom, remember? So we've got this one in here now. It's going to get 3 more in there exactly the same. This one is meet the team. And then now you'll see we've got options. So meet the team, show featured image, show home bottom one. So exactly the same as before. Show the content 100 and then continue reading. Well, actually, they almost read more, but we'll just leave continue reading. Okay, then we'll add another one. This can be get a quote. And the final one is contact us. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So we go back to our home page. And there you go, we've got our 4 different areas at the bottom. And even though I've just quickly chosen random pictures and put in rubbish text here, it already looks like a really sleek, beautiful looking website. And remember I said it's mobile responsive. So if we shrink it down, so you see how the website's starting to change as I shrink it down. Things are getting smaller and then they get to a certain size and then they start to stack and get bigger. Like so. So no matter what size of screen we're on, it still looks amazing. Right, so now we move on to the next part, which is this section here. You can choose to use this or not choose this, it's up to you, but we'll just put in some text now just to show what it is. So this is a widget area on the page. And it's actually this subfooter left, subfooter right. So we've actually got 2 sections. We've got a section here and a section here. So we'll just stick in a text box for this example, and I'll just put I'll save that. I'll put another text widget into the, I have to open it up first. Another text widget into the footer right. I'll just change this to, I'm just going to do that. So there you go, it's added this area now onto the page. And like I said, this could be a powerful area if you're looking to get people to sign up to your email list or tell people about a recent offer or a recent piece of news, because this area will appear on every page or post on your site. You see, for example, it's still there. Okay, so now we look at this footer region. So on the demo website, we've got 3 text widgets, and then we've also got a newsletter sign up widget. So we'll do exactly the same. So these are actually linking through to posts or pages on the site. So what I might do, instead of putting text widgets in there, I might use the featured page widget, but not actually use an image this time, just use text. So we'll go back into our widgets. We've got a footer one, and we'll drag in a featured page, and we'll say about us again. It's not very original by me here, but you may have better information that you want to put into your footer region. For example, you could put a navigation menu in here, but I'm just going to show page links again. I'm not going to put an image in this time, but I'm going to show the content again, but I'm going to show a bit more, and then I'll say get more at the end. I'll just check what this looks like. And there it is. There's a link, some text to the about page, and a link to the page. So I'll add the other 3, then I'll put the email sign up form in there. And then this home page is getting close to being finished. We've got some stuff in the header that we need to do. So footer 2 this time. Meet the team. I know we won't, we'll have get a quote. And finally in footer 3, we'll show the contact us page again. Okay, but in footer 4, we're going to show something different. We're going to use the Genesis e-news extended because we want to put a little email sign up area here to get people on the email list. So we drag this in. We can give it a title. Get our emails. And you can have some text before and some text after, but we're not going to put any in this. All we're going to do is go down to these options. And you have these, depending on who your email client is, if you use someone like MailChimp or Aweber or one of the other email management systems to take care of your email lists and your email newsletters and autoresponders and campaigns and things like that, you need to put in some information here. I'm not going to go into detail about it in this tutorial because this is about setting up a website and not the email list. But for example, I have done this before with MailChimp, and I'll put a link here if you want to look at that. But you basically go and get some code from MailChimp and put it in here, and that links up this e-news form to your email list. So when someone fills it in, the email gets captured. but I'm just going to put email code here because I'm not going to get the real one. And then fill in these depending on which ones you want to show. And if we look at the example, all it is show your email. So we've got the email field and the go button. So we're just going to say email here. And this is where you put in the merge tags for the different fields. Again, this links up to your email client. We're going to leave these blank, so you don't want to ask people for the first and second names. Then here is what it says. So we've got the email, so now it's going to say email address. That's fine, and then go. We'll change that to get emails. And there you go, it's easy as that. So now if someone puts their email in here, clicks this, you will capture their email if you've filled out the fields properly. So there's not much else to this home page except for this social icons, links to social pages to contact you, and also this navigation bar. We'll do these icons first, which go in this area of the site, and this is another widget area, which is why these themes are so fantastic. It makes life so much easier. So we go widgets, and it says header right area. So we have this simple social icons widget now because we installed the plugin before. So we'll just drop this in here. We won't give it a title, and you've just got some configuration settings here. I'm just going to leave them all as default, but you can play around with the icon size, how much of a radius it's got, so whether you want it a square or a circle, and the colors of the font, normally when you hover over it, and the background color normally when you hover over it. Then what you do is you just put in links to your various social pages or email here, and the ones you fill in get shown. So we'll do a dribble, and we'll also do Facebook. I'm just putting in words here because if you put words in, they show up, but obviously you will have links to your specific Facebook pages. So I'll just put .com here. Come here. And then we'll show a Google Plus. And then finally we'll have a YouTube. So you see you get lots of options here basically for all the social platforms. And there we go, showing up here, but you'll see it's not in the same place. Here it's to the right, here it's to the left, and the colors aren't great either. So we'll go ahead and modify it so it looks the same as this now. Okay, so remember it was on the left, so we just changed this to right, so that should push it to the right side of the screen now. And we'll change the colors, so we want a dark grey to black image and a white background to start with. So for example, it's a dark grey colour. Then when you hover over it, we want it to turn white. We want the original background to be white, which is that. And then I want it to change to the black color. Okay. There you go. They look the same now. You see it puts the real icon for whatever it is it's pointing to. If you click on it, it goes through to whatever you click. And you did have the option to open it in a different window if you wanted to. There's a tick box that would open in a different window, but we didn't bother ticking that. Okay, so now we look at adding this primary navigation menu bar. So go back to dashboard, or we can click menus here, but we'll go through the long way just to show you where it is. If you go appearance and then menus, and then we need to set up a menu. So create one with a new name, we'll call it navigation, and you click create menu, and you can start adding what you want to go in there. So I want to add the about page, meet the team, get who in contact, put all those pages in there. So you just select them, you add them, and once they're there you can click on them and drag them around. So I want the about first, then the meet the team, and get a quote and then contact. Okay, so now that's there, you say where do you want it to go. So at the bottom here we've got primary or secondary. We want it in a primary navigation, so I'll save that. So also if you go manage locations here, you can also set up where different menus show, but you see we've already set that one to show up as primary. And there they are, the links to these pages. Is as simple as that. Now we'll just quickly go into the dashboard and I'll show you some specific Genesis theme settings so you can understand how to customize and set up your website. So if you hover over this Genesis tab, which comes specially if you have the Genesis framework, we've got SEO options, which we're not going to cover now because it's just about setting up the website, but we will have a look at the theme settings. So here we go. So you've got a few options here. We can change the default style, so it's the default one at the moment. But let's just change it to orange and see what happens. Let's open this in a different tab so we don't lose the screen. So see, already it looks quite different. It's all orange now. All the links are orange. So instead of being the green like that, just changing the color, just change how it looks. So we have two completely different looking websites now, and all we've done is to put different images and different color schemes. Shows you how versatile this is. Okay, so we've got default layout, so you can say, do you want your posts to have a full width, or we have content and then primary sidebar. You can see, do you want breadcrumbs, which just shows you sort of the trail of the pages you're on different pages. We'll just leave them off. Do you want comments and trackbacks available? And this is how your archive or your blog sort of old posts appear. And you have some scripts if you want to put some Google Analytics code in here, for example. So now if we go into a page or a post, we go into a post on the demo site. See, we've just got a couple of things in this primary sidebar widget area. So we can add these in and then we're basically done for this tutorial. So it's a very simple to start tutorial, but it's powerful results. So we'll do this now. So basically here we have a sample post and here we have a list of recent posts. If we go back into our widgets, it's a primary sidebar widget. So we can say just a featured post in this top section of it. And I say just show one. And then we won't have any images. We'll give the post title and the post info. And then we will show a content limit and we'll say 300 words. Save that. And beneath that we'll have a list of recent posts. So here we go, it's another widget here. Let's drag that in. And I can say recent posts. You only have 4, so say show 4. And you want the post date, we won't tick that this time. Save that. There we go, and if you visit to post now, we have our example featured post here at the top, and we have our links to recent posts here. But you could be creative. You could put an about us section here. You could have a big feature image and an area you want to click, or if you have advertisements, if you want to promote something, you could have it promoted here. This will show up on every page. It's up to you what you put in these sidebar widget areas. So there you go. This is just a quick way to style this theme. So you can see it looks like a professional standard theme, and it basically is a professional website that will cost you a lot of money to get done elsewhere. You can see how easy it is to add posts, change these featured images, add links to pages, and do all sorts of things yourself. So again, this is a premium theme for WordPress. It's a Genesis framework and a Outreach Pro child theme. So if this is a theme for you, there's a link here. You can click and check out more details about it. If you're looking for the easy solution where you get everything set up and ready for you to start customizing, this includes web hosting, WordPress install, Genesis framework install, and the child theme install ready for you to start going, then make sure you check out WebAthena. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get updates as soon as I've got new videos ready for you. Also, make sure you head over to my website, which is www.neilcurtis.me, where you'll find lots more tutorials and guides. And make sure you sign up to my email list, because that's where I tell you first about anything new happening on my website.